Hello there everyone, that is Gonna Race here with a quick broadcast. I had this race, I wasn't able to stream it, but since it was a very good result, I really wanted to share with you. So we were at Sebring on the IMSA and multi-class race and try. Oh, actually, this was the not sorry. This wasn't the IMSA. This was the LMP2 challenge, and this is the new LMP2 car from BMW. As you can see, the entire grid is using the same car. I don't see people using the Dallara anymore, but hopefully things will even out soon. But I failed to qualify well here, so I was starting almost all the way to the back to the grid, P12. I think we had 13 people. Yeah, yeah, we had 13 people, and I finished P2, but I started actually P12, as you can see here. Here showing position 10. I don't know why, but I think by this time I already took 2 guys. So this is what happens in all these races. Turn 1 is always a nightmare. So if you're starting from the back, give yourself some distance. You say, oh, it's racing, why should I give more distance? But if you defend yourself a little bit, you might, escape a tricky situation. So in this case, let's go to the chase view, or actually, let's go to far chase. And as you can see here, I almost got getting into a 3 wide, which is not ideal. And there you go. So instead of, you know, getting into those guys and start to fight with them, I protect myself a little bit instead of going for the fight on turn 1. And as you can see there on the top, and oops, let me see if can I mute the chat here? I don't think so. Excuse the language. The chat was recorded in the replay, so I can't control that. I'm sorry. But as you can see, there was that crash, massive crash there on turn 1. So because I gave myself some space, I was able to protect myself, brake slowly, dodge all that craziness. And at this point, I already made up, I don't know, 5 or 6 positions. So yeah, I think P1 was all the way over there. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm P6 at this point. So here you can see I'm not all the way to the left because there's people coming behind. So I'm trying to defend myself a little bit. Braking hard, and as you can see, this always happens too. So this guy came all the way from the back, was braking too late, and hit me in the back. Let's go back there, and you can see he came and hit me, but nothing happened except for the penalty system in a racing needs some fixing. I did everything right, didn't do anything wrong. The guy was braking late and hit me, and I got a 4X. So I don't understand why that happened, but it is what it is so far. So the battle goes on. So I can see those guys fighting each other. Took the chance to get the gap here. Was braking late, so kind of almost hit the guys there. And this is not the ideal racing line. I was trying to understand the car. It was my very first race with this car. So the first laps were a little bit shaky with a lot of lockups. Everybody was struggling with that, so took the opportunity. The guy made a mistake here. So just lap one, and then came all the way from the back to this position here. So if you protect yourself, that may help you, especially on first laps. Pay attention to that. So you see people going all the way over there, so we made a lot of time, got closer to the next guy here. So as you can see in this sector 1, I was gaining a lot of time over the car ahead. So that is something you should do, like you're coming behind someone, study them, and have some patience. As you can see, just putting a little bit of pressure, and he made a mistake himself. Another position gain. Now I was braking a lot earlier, trying to understand the car, get some control. This is a tricky part of the circuit, but if you master it, you can make a lot of time. You see, missing the apex there. Still need to learn this car, but you can see that the lap times improved a lot later in the race because I was finding the car, understanding its limits. So I'll go back to lap 1 a little bit, just because I need the footage here. So I think I'll select this camera. And this car is, I think it's a lot harder to drive than the Dallara. So if you're coming from the Dallara to it, there is a small learning curve, so be aware of that. Let's move to lap 2 here. The new bump maps of this track are also insane. The car jumps all over the place, especially this one. See there, a little bit of pressure, and the guy who messed up by himself. He overdid on his corner entry over there. So after that, it's pretty much a battle for. Here it is. I was in pursuit of this guy. Trying to get closer. It took me like 3 laps to get really close to him. At this point I was P4. That's P3 over there. So I saw him make some mistakes. So consistency is really important in this type of race, as you guys may know. So playing it safe a little bit, or managing the risk, it's always a good idea. So you don't need to avoid pushing it, push it hard when necessary, but just make calculated decisions. Don't take unnecessary risks. Consistency, safety first. At this point, my racing line was kind of shaping up. I made a little mistake. The guy opened up some distance again. But especially through this sector, I had the slipstream. I was a little faster, so I was able to exit that corner really fast and enjoy a lot of the slipstream all the way through that long straight. Here we go again, getting closer. This turn one is interesting. You kind of have to force yourself in there. In terms of it's like you're trying to hit the wall on the left, but then putting on the gas to move you away from that. So if you execute that well, you have a lot of corner exit like you saw here. I could even hit the gas a little sooner, but you see how close I was to the wall. So almost I was trying to hit it, but preventing of doing that myself with the gas pedal. That gives you a lot of corner exit. Once again, I was close to the guy. He was a pretty good driver. Consistent too. I think somebody went to the pits at this point, so I'm already P3. And this was pretty much the guy that I pursued the entire race. Yeah, so this is the point where I made the overtake. So see, we were rehearsing that for a couple of laps. Coming out to the straight was a lot closer. Good exit on this turn, getting me really close to him. So with the slipstream, and I did the overtake. Had to defend myself a little bit in there already. That was pretty much it. He came after me, but he made a mistake on that exact same turn. So here's time to become a little bit defensive. So I knew I was faster than him in this sector, but still I had to pay attention if he was going to attack, to defend myself. So he was really close. Had a good exit over there. Was able to gain some distance. But at this point, P1 was so far ahead that, I said, forget it, let's focus on this one here. So here's one example of how braking a little late to defend the position was enough. He was pushing hard. That's when you make mistakes, if you push too hard. So sometimes you can try to induce those mistakes by pretending you're taking a different race line. Like here, we made a mistake again, had to reduce speed. so I got a lot of more clean exit. I was able to open a bigger gap. But you see I'm not on the left side, I was on the right side to defend myself. He didn't attack, so I just need to keep going. I think it was on the next lap. This is the last lap. By this point I was kind of with a very safe distance from him, and he made a mistake over there. So it was pretty much it. You know, I think P1 at this point was way far ahead. Yeah, he was almost 7 seconds ahead of me when we finished the race. If I had probably, I don't know, 6 or 7 more laps, maybe I could get to him. But I was pretty happy with this result. First time driving this car and starting from the back and finishing P2. Can't complain. It was a great result. So this is the almost the end of the final lap. Here we come to the long straight. He made another mistake over there and ended up out of the course. That gave me full confidence to didn't need to push too hard in the last turn. And there you have it, a P2 starting from the back. So pretty happy about this result. Hopefully you see me racing more on this car and learning it, and stay tuned. Have a good one. Ciao.